For purposes of ranking member,
To strike the last word, Mr. Chairman.
Gentleman is recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me quickly thank the staff for the outstanding work it has done and continues to do on these issues. I'm always appreciative of the staff for what they do, and I'm especially appreciative for the way they have managed to help us with these issues. Mr. Chairman, as you know, we have started a process that is unique to Congress. We are investigating allegations that have been made. In fact, some of these allegations have not been adjudicated. This is unusual. As was said last night when I was talking to someone, we are in uncharted waters. And as we move through these uncharted waters, we have indicated some consternation and some concern with the way the hearings are being conducted, in that we believe all sides should be heard, but we are hearing from one side in many cases. Mr. Chairman, we have offered to have Mr. Cordray appear. He has said he would appear without subpoena and he would testify. We have other persons who have offered to appear, the President of the Union, without subpoena to give testimony. Yet we continue to hear from witnesses about their various allegations of discrimination. And they are whistleblowers. They have lawyers. They have the right to be subpoenaed. But today what I'd like to do is this. I have said to you that we should not limit this to the CFPB only. Given that this is the new paradigm that's being set, I think we need to prepare ourselves for other agencies as well. I think we need to prepare ourselves for banks wherein there may be allegations of discrimination. So today, in the spirit of what you have done, in the spirit of what we're doing today, I would like to invite persons who may have some concerns, and they have lawyers, they are whistleblowers. I'd like for these whistleblowers to contact my office. And I want these whistleblowers to give us information concerning their allegations of discrimination. I want to fight invidious discrimination wherever it is. It doesn't exist in one place only. This is an opportunity for us to explore some of these other venues where invidious discrimination may exist. We have had in the past allegations about banks. In fact, there are many banks that have settled lawsuits involving discrimination. And I'm inviting persons, if you have an opportunity to visit with your lawyer, and you have a lawyer, have your lawyer contact my office. We would like to explore your possibility of having your information submitted to the committee. This is an opportunity for us to explore other agencies for their acts as well as what's happening in the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Let me conclude with this, Mr. Chairman. We on this side have a great deal of reluctance about the process. I've had members to express it to me. But notwithstanding our reluctance, we want to fight discrimination. So we find ourselves in a unique position, wanting to fight discrimination, but believing that a process ought to lend itself to the opportunity for all sides to be heard. Notwithstanding this, we are having to go forward. We go forward reluctantly, but we also go forward understanding that there are others who have complaints that ought to be heard as well. So I conclude as I began. I do want persons who have complaints to contact my office. Have your lawyer contact my office. I'm Congressman Al Green, the ranking member on this committee. Have your lawyers contact my office so that we may gather your complaints, look at them. We cannot give you any guarantees. We don't guarantee that you'll have the opportunity to do what these witnesses who are being subpoenaed will have the opportunity to do, which is to come before this committee. But we at least will have your information, and I will share it with the committee, and we will make some determination as we go forward. I think this is a fair way to conduct business given the way we are conducting business currently. I think this is in the spirit of what we're doing currently. And I trust that all complaints of invidious discrimination will have a fair opportunity to be heard. That's what the committee appears to be doing, giving people with a complaint of invidious discrimination an opportunity to be heard.
And will the gentleman yield?
I will yield, of course, Mr. Chairman.
I appreciate the ranking member's comments, and I concur with the ranking member's comments about the other regulators. The subcommittee ranking member and the full committee ranking member have urged this committee to hear the complaints of anyone within our jurisdiction that are like kind to what we're hearing from the CFPB. You know, and so in the last hearing, at the ranking member's urging, I called upon folks that are experiencing this type of discrimination and retaliation to come forward to tell their stories, and I will do so again. And if there are allegations of retaliation and discrimination within this committee's jurisdiction, come forward. Tell us your stories. We've heard devastating stories from the CFPB's employees, including the first hearing we had in this matter regarding Ms. Angela Martin, whose complaint is still not resolved, and she is still suffering under that retaliation at the CFPB. These things need to be righted, and I concur with the ranking member on that, and I appreciate his career of service to this matter, and want to join with him. Thank you so much, and I yield back, and I'm sorry to take so much of your time.
I'm sure the chairman will be fair and allow me to give additional commentary. I am absolutely in agreement, Mr. Chairman. I think we do have to hear from other agencies, but I want to make sure we include the banks. I want to make sure we include the banks in these other agencies that we are talking about, because we get lots of complaints about discrimination in banking, about hiring and promotions within banking. We've seen lawsuits filed against banks. So you don't have to have your lawsuit finally adjudicated now to present your case to us for our consideration. We can't guarantee any results. If you are a whistleblower and you are experiencing discrimination or retaliation, this appears to be the committee to come to, and I will do my best to make sure you have an opportunity to be heard. With this said, Mr. Chairman, I thank you, and I will yield back.
I thank the ranking member. Does any other member seek recognition? The former chairman of the full committee, Mr. Baucus.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Moves to strike the last word.
Move to strike the last word.
Recognized for 5 minutes.
The bottom line on this hearing, I think we all understand, is that these two witnesses have requested that we officially subpoena them for their own protection. So the purpose of this particular procedure is at the request of the witnesses.
Would the gentleman yield?
Yes.
I absolutely agree. And there may be other persons who would request an opportunity to be heard. And if there are whistleblowers who have lawyers and request an opportunity to be heard, we want to be fair to all of these agencies. We don't want to give the appearance, to my very dear friend, Mr. Baucus, we don't want to give the appearance that this is all about the CFPB, that there's a possibility that some of this intelligence will be utilized to, in some way, cripple the CFPB. It's bigger than the CFPB. And the only way we can cause it to be what it is, bigger than the CFPB, is to allow others who are beyond the CFPB to have an opportunity to present their cases to us for consideration, just as we are considering the case of the CFPB.
Thank you. And I'm sure if you have those people, you'll identify them to us if we have here.
If the gentleman would yield, absolutely. When they are called to my attention, I will get with the chairperson and we'll make sure they're known to you.
Yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields back. Does any other member wish to seek recognition? If no other member seeks recognition, I submit for the record the
Point of information.
Will the gentlelady turn her mic on?
Yes.
Yes.
I think the gentleman, the ranking member, raised a good point that we should get input across the board. And my question is, where does that stand? Are we going to allow input from other places or not? What's the decision on the idea that he put forward?
Well, it is the intention of the chair, and as I stated in 3 previous hearings, to hear those complaints of discrimination, retaliation from any agency within our jurisdiction.
Okay, great.
And
Thank you.
I renew that call.
Okay, thank you.
folks to
I
come
just wanted to
forward.
get it clarified. It
But
seemed
so
like
far,
a
in
reasonable
the
thing.
6 weeks since we've done that, or 5 weeks since we've done that, we've not heard from other agencies outside of the CFPB, though we've had more folks come forward from the CFPB to tell their stories.
Thank
I
you.
ask unanimous consent to submit for the record 2 letters, one from Jason Zuckerman, who is the attorney represented Ali Naragi, and second, Mr. Lester Stovall, representing Mr. Kevin Williams. Both these letters request that this committee take the action that we're taking this morning. And without objection, that is ordered. We'll now move forward with a vote. And so a quorum present, the question occurs on agreeing to the resolution. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed say nay. In the opinion of the chair, the ayes have it. The ayes have it, and the resolution is adopted. And there being no further business before the committee, we stand adjourned.